The 25th Hour Radio Show. Mike, first of all, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day and joining me on the show. You know, I'm a huge fan, and it's a real pleasure talking to you tonight.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate you wanting me to, to talk and, do everything on the show, so that's a good thing.
Okay, cool, man. You know, Mike, at the beginning of each show that I have, I like to give our listeners a chance to get to know a little bit about the guest before they became known for what they do. So if you would, man, take us back a little bit. What first turned you on to music, to want to pursue it enough to be someone who created it?
It was strange for me because I wasn't really I've always loved music. And I started DJing at a real early age. Like I've been into music since I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and I started DJing, just as a hobby, because back then DJing really wasn't a profession, But I started probably when I was about 11 or 12 years old. I just kind of, that was my little hobby back then, and then it just progressed into my pretty much my career at this point. But even, after high school, went to college, was in college for something totally different, and my heart was into music. And so, I left college and pursued music, and, pretty much at this point, the rest is history.
Anyone who becomes successful in what they do, who rises above the rest, more often than not, and this is just the way I see it, it's not because of a natural talent most of the time. It's about work ethic, determination, learning from the failures that you've had. And I'm sure you knew, I'm sure you knew people back then that wanted to be, what you became. In your mind, what set you apart from all the rest? What was it, a natural talent or was it hard work?
I think it was a little bit of both. Just like I said, though, when I was growing up, DJing really wasn't a profession. It was just something that I was doing as a hobby. So I didn't really have a role model. I didn't have anybody that I could look towards and say, that's what I want to do, when I become, when I grow up or whatever. I didn't have that as, something to look forward to. So I was totally, going into a totally different direction. I was just, going to follow, my career path. And music just kind of took over at that point. It's just like I had a love for what I was doing. I just didn't have any role model to help me get to the point or get to a place where I wanted to be, because it wasn't a profession. So there wasn't anybody that I could watch or ask questions to or anything like that, because that's pretty much, 90% of your battle, when you're trying to do something and you want to get someplace.
Everyone has a defining moment in their career, especially in entertainment, that's called the big break. What was it that first started getting you noticed, worldwide? I mean, what was your big break?
Wow, what a question. I didn't have, per se, one big break. I think a multitude of things started happening in a row. The first thing that I think pretty much happened was when I released Magic Mike Cuts the Record, and all the naysayers, kept saying, you shouldn't do this song. It says your name, 200 times in the song, and DJs don't want to play songs with other people's names in it and all that. Like, I'm not doing this for DJs. I'm not doing this for anyone else other than myself. This is a song to promote me, and if people like it, great. If they don't, great. That's fine too. Mm-hmm. And when the song became extremely successful, I think that was the defining point at that, and the point in my career, because not only was that song successful, but everyone knew my name because of that song.
Yeah.
So it made everything a lot easier. But then when we did Drop the Bass as the second single, Drop the Bass was just a phenomenon, and it took off. It just took off like a bat out of hell for the most part. And then we still didn't have an album, because we were still, everything was singles driven at that point. And then finally, we said, let's get together, put an album together, and then see what could happen from that. And, needless to say, the album was very successful. It went platinum, and we just kind of kept going from there. So that's why I said it was a bunch of this. It was not just one defining moment, but there was quite a few things that, that kind of happened that, that kind of, got me to that point.
So, man, when you got that first taste, of real success, what was it like? I mean, I imagine it makes you feel like you can, conquer the world. I mean, what was your thinking back then? And better yet, man, what was the party like?
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm not going to even say that it wasn't, but part of me was enjoying it, and then there was also part of me that knew that eventually one day this could come to an end.
Yeah.
So I wanted to I was hovering, I was teetering on both sides because I'm like, I need to prepare just in case, this fails tomorrow. I need to be able to have something to keep going on and, and fall back on. And, but then the other part of me was really, really enjoying it because not only was I the artist, but I was part owner of the company, so I was kind of enjoying all the fruits, that I could enjoy. And it was a different life. It was a different game back then,
Yeah. I don't want to dwell too much on the past because I want to talk about what you're doing now. And I know we only have a few minutes. I was reading on your Twitter page a couple days ago and someone had tweeted, DJ Magic Mike was turning my mom up in the club. Now he's turning me up in the club, man. How does that make you feel, to still be reaching a younger generation, man, and making them move with your music?
Oh, man. You know what? When I read that, all I could do was smile. Because then I thought about it, and then I started thinking back, and I'm like, wow, I started DJing in the club when I was very, very, very young. Actually, when I started DJing in the club, I wasn't even old enough to be in the club.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, and it was funny because this one club that I was playing at in Orlando, I had been at this club for a few years, and it was time for my high school prom. And I told them that I needed to take off from work the following weekend because, I was going to the prom. And they said to me, well, who are you taking to the prom? You're too old to go to a prom. I'm like, no, I'm not too old to go to a prom. I'm only 17. And when they looked at me and their mouth just dropped, they're like, you're not even supposed to be in here. And I just kind of smiled because I looked older than what I actually was.
They didn't let you go, did they?
Oh, no. They didn't let me go. I went to the prom and came back and everything just to continue on, But it was just, it was just funny that, when he put that comment up there, and I'm like, wow, that's just funny. Because I'm thinking back, like, I have been DJing in clubs for a long, long time. I mean, I guess, the DJ life was my first love before I started doing music. So I went from DJing to doing music to back to DJing, Mm-hmm. So it's, I gravitated back towards my first love, So that was a funny comment.
So what's your main gigs right now? Are you pretty much stationary where you perform, or you still get out and tour on occasion?
I'm still doing a little bit of touring here and there. Stationary, I got a main night that I do here in Orlando. It's at a House of Blues here in Orlando. I've been there for a long time now. First I started doing holiday weekends only, and then we would do the holiday weekends, and then about 2.5 years ago, I started doing every Sunday night. So now Sundays at House of Blues is like my main gig, and then pretty much every weekend, every other weekend, I kind of travel and, go to different cities and, do what I do and then come on back home.
I seen that YouTube video promo you have at the House of Blues, and I think there might be, a couple different ones of them out there, but man, it's a full-on concert there, man. Is that what it's pretty much like every night there? You step on stage? Because, man, it don't get no better than that.
It does not. And I'm there on Sundays, but when we did the video, like three times a year, I do my holiday weekend shows. And we'll do one on MLK, we'll do one for Memorial Day, we'll do one for Labor Day. So that video was done during one of the bigger performances. But I mean, every Sunday night we have 2,000 plus people in that place.
Yeah.
And it's a full on show, and we have a good time, man. It's a fun.
Yeah, the light show and everything, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. But we go all out on the holiday weekends. I mean, that's like that's what I said. When I talked to you when we first started talking tonight. I'm in the studio preparing for that show. Well, the show that I prepared for is my House of Blues show for Memorial Day. But I mean, it's full on, video intros. it's very, very interactive, to say the least.
Yeah, man. So is there anything coming up for you, that any kind of promotional stuff you'd like to promote? I know you mentioned a few things already, but, like website, social media, where people can go to get more information about you?
Pretty much on my Instagram. I got 2 Instagrams I'm dealing with. I have DJ Magic, at DJ Magic Mike and at DJ Magic Mike 01. Both of those are my Instagrams. And then, Twitter is at DJ Magic Mike. And my Facebook is, facebook.com/DJ Magic Mike fans. Only the DJ Magic Mike. I have that one as well. So pretty much I kind of pick and choose between me and my agent. We kind of, take something and just start kind of pushing it and just kind of let the world know, what's going on and what we're doing. And right now I'm working with this group called the Battle Boys, and they're kind of blowing up they're actually out of Alabama, Montgomery. And doing some tracks for their project, featuring on a few of their songs. Their last album came out, did a couple songs on that, and they're kind of doing, in the hip hop scene, they're just kind of just surprising the world by the success that they're having. So I'm helping them with a lot of their projects. I'm in the process of doing a new project because I haven't done one. Oh God, it's been 3 years since my last album, and in the process of doing another one of those, and so that's pretty much my life keeping me busy.
Yeah. So one last question, man, before we start to bring this thing to a close. What's it like for DJ Magic Mike moving forward, man? What's your goals at this point in your life?
Right now, for the most part, I'm just trying to, move forward, continue doing what I'm doing. I want to get back on the road a little bit more than what I have been in the past, few years. And that's just a matter of just kind of implementing myself and then just, pursuing it, just doing what I have to do. But that's my main thing. What I want to do is just start, getting back on the road, because there's a lot of people that want to see me, even, in other countries and stuff, that I just haven't, my traveling game has not been up to par just because I really haven't had time, but I need to really get back to. So that's pretty much it, man. Working on these 2 projects, getting my touring schedule back up to par, and, just trying to move forward.
Well, Mike, I want to once again thank you for joining me on the show today. Like I mentioned earlier, man, I'm a huge fan of your music. I have a lot of friends who's really jealous that I'm speaking with you, because we used to, we used to all get in our cars, man, and we'd feel that bass from DJ Magic Mike. So, man, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
I got a question for you now. How many of your speakers have I torn up?
Oh, man, I tell you what, how many speakers I have went through, man. I saw you have another thing out there, a bass tester or whatever. We played that in a buddy of mine, and it was rattling the windows, man. It brought back the memories, man. Awesome. It's really good talking to you, man. Really, as a fan, man, I'm like a little kid again, man.
Wow, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling me, and thank you for wanting to do the interview with me.
Hey, no problem, man. And good luck with everything you're doing.
All right, I appreciate that.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.